The 2019 BattleBot season began with a bang.
Oh! Oh!
We saw legends falter.
Down goes Tombstone! What a monumental upset!
While others fought to stake their claim.
Oh! 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 How about that from Hydra?
And for one team, desperation turned to celebration.
Oh! Black Dragon punches their ticket to the top 16!
Who will rise to claim the ultimate prize in robot combat?
Oh! What a hit by the reigning champ!
The journey continues right now.
Welcome to BattleBots, the only show on television that encourages motorized vehicles to crash into each other and not leave a note. I'm Chris Rose, and here's a guy who's had a few head-on collisions himself, former UFC fighter Kenny Florian.
Thanks, Chris. I might not be in the octagon anymore, but scary stuff still comes flying at my head every day. This season has already featured the most insane action we've ever seen in the box.
Oh!
But we're not done yet. All of these teams will have up to 4 fights to impress the selection committee.
That's right. These builders will have to put it all on the line in their pursuit of a spot in the top 16 and a chance at claiming the most coveted trophy in combat robotics, the Giant Nut.
And this fight card promises to bring more of the same. It features lethal spinners, punishing flippers, as well as the biggest robot in the field, the aptly named Mammoth. We've got Sub-Zero taking on P1, who's making its BattleBots debut. That's flipper versus flipper, so you know someone's going airborne.
We'll also see a matchup between 2 monster spinners, 2 grizzled veterans in the sport, when Luke Ewart and Sanawayachi take on Fuzzy Malden and the undefeated Texas Twister.
And our main event matchup this evening is West Coast versus East, with California's Love, Whiplash, and Florida's Wild Child, Witch Doctor. There are a couple of top-tier teams that are looking to remain undefeated. I love it, Kenny. It's kind of like the Brady Bunch against the Addams Family.
For more on that oddball matchup, let's send it back to Jenny in the pits.
Thanks, guys. Andrea Galately told me that Witch Doctor has seen Whiplash put plenty of vertical spinners on their backs. So they spent the majority of the night in the test box making sure their self-righting mechanism was working well. And they tested this thing over and over and over again. But Jeff Vasquez, he noticed, and he confirmed to me that is the plan. Make sure we use our lifter and get them on their backs early. Now, both of these robots are 2-0 heading into the main event. And as we like to say in combat sports, somebody's O has got to go.
Well, I cannot wait for that. So let's get down to business with tonight's first fight.
Gigabyte versus Huge! 2 king-size bots, 2 very different plans of attack. Can both these big wheels keep on turning? Farouk, get in here. Take it away, my man.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? It's robot fighting time! In the red square, if this bot asks you, do these wheels make me look fat? You say yes. You're all that. I like them round and big. You can't lose. It's Huge.
Kenny, Huge sits at 1-1 on the year. Falling to 1-2 is not an option if they want to make it to the top 16. So what's Jonathan Schultz bringing to the table tonight to take on that full-body spinner of Gigabyte?
Well, he's decided to go with that shorter 34-inch bar. Jonathan believes that will allow Huge to land its shots on top of Gigabyte, where it's a little weak on armor.
In the blue square, call this bot Shreddy Krueger, because you'll see it in your nightmares. Nighty-night, sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs. Gigabyte!
Gigabyte 2-0 this season, had an impressive win over Minotaur in their last bout, but this will be another tough test for them.
Oh, absolutely, but they do have a plan. That is to attack those big wheels on Huge while trying to avoid taking too many hits from that 34-inch bar spinner.
Overnight, we cut some new wheels. They're thinner, but they're the full size that we usually run, the 40 inches. They'll give us a better angle to hit the top of their shell. And then the whole strategy is to spin the bar downwards again and hit that flat, thinner top of the shell, which is full of holes, break something inside, basically. If the plan all goes how it's supposed to, we'll beat them pretty handily.
I'm thinking that his strategy is to come up and do some damage to the top of the robot. I noticed he's using a short blade, so we're concerned about our mast, so it's really important for us not to get hit. The key is to get the wheels off that machine. I think we're going to be able to cut them down.
All right, Kenny, here we go. Our first fight of the evening features two very different bots, but they both got the same goal. Walk away with the win and state their case for a spot in the top 16.
Ready.
Coming out of the gate, backing up Gigabyte into the corner.
Oh, that's not where Gigabyte wants to be.
Unbelievable. It nailed itself into a double rail shot right out of the gate, and Huge with a leapfrog. It was the Iverson step over.
Oh, and they're into the wall again.
Gigabyte's looking out his swords, Chris. Huge is dictating his fight. Oh, big shot. These hits are just devastating. My goodness.
And Gigabyte is smoking, and it's no longer spinning. Its weapon is no longer functional.
Let's get it!
The guys on Huge are going cuckoo.
They said they could withstand the blows, and right now, Gigabyte heating up a little bit. Oh, Huge took a piece out of that directional indicator.
Gigabyte has been relegated to the role of push spot, and in that configuration, Kenny, that is not optimal.
Yeah, that's right, Chris. With Gigabyte's weapon down, their only chance to win this fight may be with aggression and control. They're all over Huge right now, but Huge has the advantage with that primary weapon still spinning at full tilt. Oh, but there's a strong push.
Well, you know what? Gigabyte's going to have to use the BattleBots to its advantage. Get Huge up on the screws and have it chew up the wheels.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And they have to hope that they're durable enough to go weapon to weapon.
Well, how about weapon to weapon-less?
Yeah, Gigabyte not spinning up at all right now. And there's some chunks out of Gigabyte.
Whoa!
Actually, I believe those are chunks from the wheels of Huge. I'm sorry.
Gigabyte's keeping themselves in this fight, Kenny. They're not giving Huge an inch.
Yeah, very interesting. I think they're confident that they can withstand those blows and try to get Huge to basically defeat itself.
But I got to tell you, those look like impressive shots in the eyes of the judges.
I agree. It all depends on where the damage is coming in here.
Oh, there you go.
Gigabyte trying to get him stuck up against the screws.
Now the question is, will the screws chew up those wheels? Right now, it looks like the screws have stopped momentarily as Huge is trying to get out of there. Great driving by Gigabyte to get Huge even up near the end of the BattleBots. And he almost did it again.
Gigabyte almost almost took him for another ride. That's some excellent defensive driving, but excellent versatility from Gigabyte to mix things up.
Under 30 to go.
How many more hits can Gigabyte take?
Gigabyte pursuing. And this is what they need to do, Chris. Stay on the wheels, not go weapon to weapon here, because it's not looking great for them when they do things like that.
Another huge hit as we approach the 10-second mark in a fight that will go the distance. Gigabyte starting to smoke a little again, and then we have more sparks.
Oh, that's not going to look good for the judges. That smoke coming from Gigabyte now. What a fight.
Look at the kids from huge high-fiving. In the meantime, the veteran squad of Gigabyte kind of shaking their heads, wondering what went wrong.
That is a fired-up Jonathan Schultz right now.
And so now this one goes to the judges, former BattleBots participants, Jason Bardis, Lisa Winter, and Derek Young. Scoring on a 7-point system, 3 points for damage, 2 for aggression, and 2 for control.
Kenny, Gigabyte is always dangerous for its opponent and itself. Right out of the gate, ricocheting off the walls of the box before Huge landed this massive shot to disable Gigabyte's weapon. That's when Gigabyte had to adjust their game plan, and it really became a battle for aggression and control.
What I loved about the fight was the fact that they had to adapt in real time. And I tell you what, they almost pulled off the knockout right there when it got it stuck up against the screws. That was brilliant driving there from Gigabyte, who didn't have their primary weapon working.
And you gotta think that the judges, who had a front row seat for that one, were scoring some control points for Gigabyte there. But then, at the end of the fight, Gigabyte, motionless and smoking on the battle box floor. It's time to find out which way the judges decided to go.
The results from the judges are in. The winner by unanimous decision is Huge.
I'm here with a very excited Jonathan Schultz of Team Huge. Man, what a fight. Break that down for me.
I lost my voice. The whole plan was going to, we know they have these kind of skid pads inside for the shell to bounce off, and we figured bend down that top, jam right up on it, and it worked. First hit, perfect. And it was awesome.
How sure were you that it was actually going to work?
10%.
That was amazing, man. You now have a winning record. How big was this for you?
I think this was huge.
Set you up. That was perfect.
But, I mean, this was critical. Top 16 or not was make or break in this fight.
Congratulations, man. That was amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah, well done.
Kenny, I love it when teams get that into it. Did you see all the guys from Hughes? They're pounding on the glass. I thought there was like a hockey fight going on inside of there or
Jonathan Schultz is probably one of the more soft-spoken guys you'll ever meet. And he was so fired up. He was pumping his fists. He was yelling. He was hugging. That is what BattleBots is all about. Amazing.
And this is how quickly things can turn in BattleBots. Remember, first fight of the season, Sanawayachi came in, just punched him in the face. We were like, it's not the same Huge. Now they got a little win streak, little mojo going.
Yeah, without a doubt. That win over Tough Bot and Gigabyte puts Huge right back into the conversation for the top 16.
All right, up next, we've got Uppercut taking on BreakerBox as the action continues. That's all leading up to our main event. Whiplash squares off against Witch Doctor. That's the Boy Wonder and the Voodoo Virtuoso. So stick around for more BattleBots Fight Night.
All right, we are back on BattleBots with one of the most anticipated fights of the night. And we start off with BreakerBox. It's the new bot, courtesy of Jim Smentowski, and you know him from Nightmare fame. This thing doesn't look anything like Nightmare, but he's super excited. It's 1-0, and he thinks it's the real deal.
Absolutely. Jim Smentowski, one of the most experienced bot builders in the game.
And he's going against a bunch of college kids, literally undergrads at MIT, uppercut, led by Alex Hattori. By the way, he's a 6-time national yo-yo champion, so he's already got a bunch of hardware on his mantle. So this is a bot that's coming off of its first BattleBots victory. They look the part. They've got the boxing robes, the gloves, the whole shtick, but it's a pretty good bot as well.
Without a doubt, their bot is firing literally the way they want it, so I can't wait to see what it does here in this one.
What's your punch look like?
Like
do it that way.
Uppercut.
Okay, thank you. Let's check out what their punch looks like. Farouk, take it away.
In the red square, we've got a 1033 emergency. The 1020, the battle box. What's the 1036? Time for smashing. You're going to need to take a 10-100. 10-4, good buddy? It's BattleBots!
BattleBots won its only fight, a decision over Falcon, and it's passing on using its 46-pound hammer in favor of what?
They're going with that wedge setup instead, Chris. They believe they can use it to get under uppercut, avoid any big shots from that vertical bar spinner, and hopefully control this fight.
It also has a mini-bot called Hacker.
In the blue square, from MIT, but it's serving up a dying punch. And you're about to get Kool-Aid out. Oh, yeah. It's the bot that pours on the shots, going straight for the gut. Uppercut!
Uppercut also has a mini bot. That one's called Helping Hands. But Kenny, I'm more excited about seeing that bar spinner back in action. One fight, one knockout win so far. Time to see if they can get another one here tonight.
We know that BattleBots is going to be a very durable robot because they've been building BattleBots for a long time. They're known for being pretty reliable. So our plan is to spin up the blade, spin up the fist, wait in the middle of the arena, and see what happens when they come at us. Most of the scare of our robot is our robot taking the own hits that it delivers. So we're hoping that we can knock him out before something stupid happens to our robot. Hopefully punch him into the ceiling.
I'm feeling pretty confident on this fight. I got to stay away from the front end of that robot, but I've noticed when I see him in the test arena, he's very tippy. So I'm going to take that opportunity to get around the side or the back of the robot, push him into the walls. I want to make sure that none of my robot touches that weapon. I want to break that weapon on the arena walls. Maybe send the whole robot over the edge.
Robots activate.
Here we go. Uppercut with its boxing-inspired design, taking on BattleBots, which is literally a box.
Okay, do it.
Well, that's what it's all about. BattleBots, where smart people do dumb things. Jim Smentowski from Bradenton, Florida, against Alex Hattori, who you have to think has been to Florida. It's go time, Kenny.
Let the bot battle begin. BattleBots fast out of the gate, and it takes a shot from uppercut.
That uppercut can pack a punch, Chris.
But BattleBots not backing down, taking another run at uppercut, and lands a nice hit. Oh, but uppercut with a counter punch. But BattleBots is back for more. He's pushing him into the screws. It's rock'em, sock'em fight right now. Kenny, this is what it's all about.
You see the wedge, that front wedge of BattleBots already dealing with some damage there.
Yeah, it's definitely missing a tooth there in front. Uppercut just kind of high-stepping its way over BattleBots. There you go. Nice job by BreakerBots. His uppercut was a bit uneven.
There's some excellent driving right now from BreakerBots. Uppercut needs some time to spit up to full speed, and BreakerBots not letting him.
He's got to create a little bit of distance, right?
Staying right on him like white on rice.
LEDs are acting on.
Got it. Don't worry about it.
Now uppercut trying to spin up that weapon to full speed. It really hasn't gotten a good shot on BreakerBots in the last 30 seconds. It's kind of getting tossed around by Jim Spitowski's robot.
Yeah, even with that chip off of the front of the wedge of BreakerBots, BreakerBots getting underneath him and now setting him into the screws.
And keep an eye on BreakerBots. It seems to be smoking a little bit out of its hind side. Yeah, it definitely is smoking.
Uppercut just needs to get that weapon working and use the eyes on that wedge like a bullseye.
BreakerBots is flailing. Uppercut trying to get that knockout punch. If they could just get that fist up to speed.
Show me movement, Jim. I'm going to start counting you out.
Oh, there's a shot that sends BreakerBots spinning like a top.
10.
BreakerBots is getting counted down.
7.
And another shot by uppercut to pour salt in the wound. Alex Hattori, the yo-yo champ, is taking no prisoners, and he moves to 2-0 on the season. The team from MIT showing they don't just have brains, they can also bring the brawn.
Things are going pretty well for BreakerBots in the early going.
Yeah, absolutely. They did a great job with that wedge. It was exactly what he wanted to do. You see the instability there in uppercut. Continued to get underneath him. He was utilizing the BattleBots very well, but that team from MIT, they built a very durable bot, Chris.
Durable indeed, and that spinner is proving to be reliable as well, wearing down BreakerBots, who was left smoking after taking all those hits.
It's not how hard you get hit, it's how hard you can get hit and get back up, and they weren't able to get back up.
Is that the way your trainer used to talk to you?
Yeah, kind of.
And there's the crowning blow.
Enough to make an old man smoke, and uppercut moves to 2-0 on the season.
All right, I'm here with the victorious Alex Hattori from Team Uppercut. Give us a breakdown of the fight, man.
We knew it'd be a tough fight because BreakerBots is a very experienced team, and we knew they'd probably last for a long time, so we just wanted to play it safe in the beginning. We spun up our blade and just wanted to make sure we were up to full speed every time we made contact. There was some good driving in there, so we were pretty on edge the whole time.
And you guys have a winning record right now. How does that feel?
It feels fantastic. We're happy to see our robot work. We want to see that fist spin and punch things, so.
Well done. You guys keep getting better.
Thank you.
It was so interesting listening to Alex Hattori of Uppercut, because there's a sense of innocence with the MIT kids. We always think they're, what, wicked smart, right, out there? But, man, he was like, we just want our robot to work and all that sort of stuff. And now here they are. They've got a winning record.
Absolutely. Listen, he's humble, but he also understands they have some work to do. 2-0 is great, of course, and no denying it's a feather in their cap to beat a legend in Jim Spitowski. But BreakerBots isn't exactly the world beater that Nightmare once was. I think they're still going to need a signature win over a top bot from this season to solidify their spot in the top 16.
All right, well, up next, it's China's Wan Hu taking on Mammoth.
We got more BattleBots coming your way. Hold tight. All right, up next we got Wan Hu taking on Mammoth, and Wan Hu, one of two bots joining us from China, led by Daniel Weidong Cheat.
They're 1-1 at this point in the competition. Got the win in their BattleBots debut, but now coming off a tough loss in their last fight, they'll be looking to get back on track against yet another BattleBots rookie who sits at 1-1 as well. That's Ricky Willems and Team Mammoth. And if you remember, he's the guy who was in our crowd a season ago.
He took a souvenir picture with the giant nut, and he's like, I'm going to go win that thing next year. I'm going to build the biggest, baddest bot they've ever seen. Baddest, we don't know. Biggest, you win, my man, Ricky. This thing is 6 feet tall. It's 11 feet from tip to toe.
Almost as big as me. It's crazy. You know, the thing
it's bigger.
This thing is impressive. It's got a reach of 3 feet compared to Wanhu's 4.3 inches. Of course, Wanhu has a lot more power packed into that primary weapon, so this one looks like it could go either way. It's your classic Wanhu versus Goliath matchup.
Why not? Let's check it out. Farouk?
In the red square, stop what you're doing, because he's about to ruin the BattleBot style that you're used to. And yo, it's not funny. From the Ming Dynasty, I hope the world is ready to get beat by Wanhu.
Kenny, plan of attack for Wanhu tonight?
Well, they want to attack the wheels of Mammoth. They'll be trying to get around to the sides of that giant bot so they can chew on some rubber with their 48-pound disc spinning at 240 miles an hour.
In the blue square, this bot is so big that I feel the need to mention it every time it's inside the battle box. But it's also got a launcher and tusk, and those are gonna kick your butt. It's time to get slammeth by the mighty Mammoth.
Team Mammoth sounding their battle horns. The Vikings had giant ships. Ricky Willems and his team, well, they have this monstrosity. So it's Wanhu taking on Mammoth. What are you watching for here, Kenny?
Chris, since Wanhu wants to attack the tires, Ricky Willems will have to stay squared up to them. Now, Mammoth doesn't have the most powerful weapon, but they'll try to use their imposing size to bully Wanhu and use the battle box to their advantage.
Robots activate.
Oh! Look at that, Kenny. Mammoth has got the flame working at the start of this fight. Last time we saw this thing working, it was at the end of the fight after being knocked out.
Let the bot battle begin. Oh, Wanhu almost got stuck right there in Mammoth's mouth.
Now Mammoth able to swat Wanhu away so far. That reach is going to be trouble for Wanhu.
That is amazing with those skis attached to Mammoth.
As Wanhu circles the gangly beast, trying to figure this out, Kenny. Whoa, some quick hits there from Wanhu.
Mammoth moving very well right now, Chris.
He had Wanhu trying to take those skis apart. Kind of curious when they might try to get to the tires if they can. Oh.
Yeah, they're not able to get to the side at this point. Mammoth doing a good job of pointing its nose right at Wanhu.
And that weapon, although it doesn't spin incredibly fast, it'll hit you with some force if it knocks you right in the mouth.
But Wanhu taking it to Mammoth, Chris, not backing away, happy to nibble on those skis.
Oh, I've never seen a Mammoth jump like that, Kenny. Oh, but now Mammoth getting serious. Wanhu in the danger zone. He wants to get out of there quick.
That's right, the lifter isn't doing any lifting, but Mammoth is happy to keep slapping him in the face.
There you go. Nice shot by Wanhu, trying to attack from the side momentarily. And trying to tip over Mammoth.
Well, that blow has disabled Wanhu's vertical spinner, Chris. That's a huge moment in this match. With no primary weapon, Wanhu will be forced to outmuscle Mammoth.
90 seconds through this match.
And things just took a left turn. Wanhu was doing a great job, racking up a ton of points with those jabs. But now with no weapon, how does he take down Mammoth, Kenny?
It's a challenge, Chris. Wanhu just needs to hold on and avoid getting flipped. He's smoking now.
Wanhu's smoking a little bit. I don't know if those are the tires, motors, something.
Yeah, they've been trying hard to try to get underneath Mammoth, and they might be burning out those tires on the battle box.
There's a little push and shove. I think Mammoth is really trying to corner Wanhu, start utilizing the battle box, and even try and throw it out of here.
Well, this has turned into a grappling fight. Neither bot able to get the knockout blow.
Yeah, we got him! Hit him! Hit him!
Oh, look at that!
And Wanhu gets big fella.
Mammoth is one of those bots just so hard to prepare for. You don't really encounter things like this on a daily basis.
Well, Wanhu trying to hold on. Mammoth going for the flips in. Come here. Get in here, you little pesky bot. Look at the strength of Wanhu just throwing the big fella aside, saying, you got to get out of the club, bro.
Well, Wanhu doing a great job of staying out of danger. Oh, that's their best bet right there, Chris.
Closing in on 15 seconds to go. Anybody give us a lasting memory with one final blow? And here comes Wanhu throwing himself on the Mammoth, but she won't budge, Kenny. Under 10, so this one will go the distance.
Chains down.
Mammoth lost the chains, so Wanhu can claim that damage. Hey, that'll do it. 3-minute fight.
All right, guys.
A real arm wrestle there as this one heads to the judges. Boy, I'm glad I don't have to pick this one. Kenny, what'd you think of Mammoth's tactics in the early going?
Mammoth was moving very well for such a large bot. They did a great job of keeping their nose or their trunk pointed at Wanhu. But it really was a match of two halves, Chris. Wanhu won the first half with those pesky jabs and did a good job neutralizing Mammoth's weapon. Then in the second half, after Wanhu lost its weapon, Mammoth had a great opportunity to take the match, but ultimately, for a flipper lifter, Mammoth never got a good lift. It just didn't do what it's designed to do.
Tightly contested fight. We will see how the judges iron this one out. They'll be awarding 3 points for damage, 2 for aggression, and 2 for control. That decision's coming your way right after this. Hey, welcome back to BattleBots. We've just seen Wanhu and Mammoth go toe-to-toe in a tightly contested match. One of these teams will move to 2-1 on the season and keep their tournament hopes alive.
The results from the judges are in. And the winner by unanimous decision is Wanhu.
Okay, I'm here with the victorious Wanhu. Were you guys surprised by the decision at all?
你对于裁判的裁决是不是感到很惊讶呢？
我觉得这场比赛非常的接近，然后我知道我的对手是他们的时候，我完全就惊呆了，我不知道该怎么办。但是，很幸运我们获胜了。
For the whole fight, it's neck on neck, and when we know we wanted to fight with Mammoth, we're just completely out of shock. We don't know how to face them, and we're really lucky that we made it until the end. We won it. They're really great competitors.
Have you guys ever fought something that big and that unorthodox?
我连想象都想象不到，这就是比比，这就是我喜欢的地方。
I just couldn't imagine in one day I'll fight something this big. But this is the charm of the BattleBots, and that is why we're here, to compete at BattleBots, just to enjoy everything as possible and meet all of the different designs around the world. That's the most important thing.
It was a very fun fight, guys. Thank you very much. Congratulations. All right, I'm here with Ricky Williams, who seems very disappointed. Man, I thought you were going to get the nod there. Did you think the same?
I did. I can understand where they're coming from. I mean, certainly our front forks got a little torn up. We messed up our own weapon there. Our drive side, I think, was just, design failure. I don't think it was damage from the other team. They did keep coming at us, but yeah, I thought we had the control. I thought we had the aggression. It must just have been a damage-based decision.
You're getting better and better, Ricky. Thank you.
Thanks, man.
So, Wanhu takes to the decision. Tough one to call. What did you think, Judge Kenny?
Oh, geez. In my limited experience, I actually thought Mammoth was going to get the nod there. I thought they did a great job.
No question, they had the control, but Wanhu won the aggression points, and in the end, the damage they inflicted on Mammoth probably won them this fight. All of the judges, by the way, scored it 4-3 in favor of Wanhu.
Close.
All right, coming up, it's 1/3 of the Triachi and the Lone Star bot from the Lone Star State. It's Sunawaiachi versus Texas Twister. For more on that battle of the spinners, let's send it to Jenny Taft.
Thanks, guys. I'm down in the pits with Fuzzy Malden, who has his eye on the top 16 after his brand new horizontal disc spinner, Texas Twister.
Huge hit by Texas Twister.
Is off to a strong 2-0 start this season.
Oh! There goes a wheel.
Tell me what I need to know about Texas Twister.
Texas Twister is kind of like a tractor. It's farm technology.
Okay.
I'm a rancher. We raise cows. I don't do all this fancy CNC billet stuff and all that. I buy parts that come from people who make robot parts.
Okay.
And I weld frames out of steel that I understand. And so I make it as simple and as strong as I can.
Tell me about your weapon.
This spins at 2,700 RPM. 56 pounds of AR 500 steel.
Wow.
Tip speed of about 215 miles an hour. And the cool thing is it works right side up or upside down. Upside down, it spins right on the floor and it's an undercutter. But we actually normally run it the other way around.
Sure.
Where it's a diagonal and the big piece of steel is our shield. So we have a big shield in front of us and we're spinning it at 215 miles an hour. We're daring our opponents to try and come get us. Meanwhile, we're driving at them.
So now you're facing Sunawaiachi. What's the biggest concern there?
This is a very experienced team, so I'm worried. They're an enormously powerful bot, and against a massive spinner like Sunawaiachi, there really only are two strategies. One is to have an enormous piece of angled armor to deflect their blows. The other is to plow right into it and hope they break. Whoa! We don't have any armor, but we're gonna go in there and give it all we've got. Either one of us can kill the other.
We'll see if Texas Twister can reach its 3rd win of the season when they take on the deadly horizontal bar spinner, Sunawaiachi. That's coming up next.
All right, we are back on BattleBots, and up next, a great story in the 2019 season. Texas Twister, led by their fearless leader, Fuzzy Malden. He's been in the fight game for 2 decades. He's retired. He says, listen, Chris, I'm feeling great. We're 2-0. Man, if we win this one against Sunawaiachi, I can put my big old cowboy boots up and relax. He's confident a 3rd win puts him in the top 16, but standing in his way is Sunawaiachi. They check in at 1-1, and I asked him before the fight, are you more worried about your opponent or you when it comes to damage? He said, both.
Yeah, that's right. Again, this is a high-energy weapon. It does a lot of damage, both to the other bot and to itself. There's going to be some epic hits tonight.
It's going to be a whole lot of fun. Let's check it out inside the box with Farouk.
In the red square, it's about to be a family affair. Against these band of brothers, you don't have a prayer. They say the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, but it does when the apple gets hit by the son of Waiachi.
This is a huge swing fight for Sunawaiachi. 2-1, and you're looking good. 1-2, well, now that's not so good.
Yeah, Luke Ewart knows this is a big fight, but he says it's not going to change the way I drive. As always, Sal's just going to come out here and hit everything that moves.
In the blue square, from the Lone Star State, the land of barbecuing, it's a monster storm that just keeps brewing. Sound the alarmage and get ready for a whole mess of chili cone carnage. Look out, sister. Here comes a Texas Twister.
Okay, what's Texas Twister's philosophy against Sunawaiachi?
Well, Sunawaiachi does take some time to spin up to full speed, so Texas Twister wants to go out there and box rush him and jam him up as quickly as possible.
Texas Twister's a solid-looking bot. It's got those big wheels hanging out, but I'm probably gonna avoid those, primarily stay focused on his weapon. Both of us are gonna hit each other, and it's basically who's gonna survive the hits.
We don't have reach in this fight, so we're just gonna plow right in, full speed, and see what breaks. My strategy for this fight is to hand the transmitter to my daughter and stand back and be as surprised as the audience. She's a stone-cold killer. I think this stands a good chance of being one of the most violent fights this year. Don't mess with Texas.
Texas Twister taking on Sanawayachi. And you might want to seek shelter because this one's about to get ugly.
Red team ready. Blue team ready.
Let the bot battle begin. Texas Twister takes it a little wide out of the gate. Sanawayachi's going to be up to speed. Oh, there's a hit. Oh, my goodness! Oh! Texas Twister almost gets thrown out of the arena, and somehow it works its way back.
Texas Twister already dealing with the back wheel. There goes a part of Texas Twister.
And another. Oh, the guts are coming out of the back, and the wheels are all over the place, and I think Texas Twister is finished.
2 knockout shots, I believe, and that was all it took.
From 10.
The countdown has started. Sanawayachi will get their second win of the season, smacking Texas Twister back to the Lone Star State.
Knockout.
And if there was any doubt, let me tell you, Sal is a beast. And yes, that is Luke Ewert's happy face. You know, there's a rule in TV that the replays cannot last longer than the fights, so you have 49 seconds to figure this out, Kenny.
Oh, my goodness. Sanawayachi with a knockout shot right off the bat. Texas Twister had to do its best to get off the screws. There's another shot of it. Wow. Just so much power there. And you look at that wheel and the tire just ripped off from just one shot.
And that gave us an inside look at the internals of Texas Twister. All those wires and switches, and I don't think those things are supposed to be exposed.
Luke, it's you again. Another knockout, man.
Yeah, good to have knockouts. Whether it's a win or a loss, I love knockouts.
Talk us through that fight, man. It was quick, but please talk us through it.
Yeah, I kind of missed it myself because we both flew in opposite directions as soon as we collided, and I was watching my bot, and then all of a sudden I turned around, they're almost up on the screws there, and got back on them, lined up for another hit. Looked like I ripped off the back plate, and then they started getting counted out.
It can be hard to predict every time you guys clash, but was that a part of your strategy, is try to get them up on the screws?
No, definitely not. I had no idea what was going to happen when those weapons hit. I was just really hoping that they did, and not that they were hitting the top of my screws and start ripping apart my rotor.
You now have a winning record, 2-1. How does that feel?
I feel great about a 2-1 record. A lot better chances of getting into the tournaments.
You're looking very powerful as always, man. Congratulations.
Kenny, in BattleBots, not all records are created equally. Both those robots are 2-1, but when you look at Sanawayachi, all 3 of their fights have ended in a knockout. Their only losses against Whiplash, one of the best bots in the competition. That thing is gnarly.
Without a doubt, no shame in losing to Whiplash. It was a tough matchup for him, but Sanawayachi, again, when you have that kind of power, you have a shot against any bot in the competition.
And for Texas Twister, they fall to 2-1 after that vicious KO.
I guarantee you they're feeling the pressure now. You know, being undefeated at 2-0 is a different deal than 2-1 when you have so many great bots here.
Is it the same kind of pressure that I feel when I sit next to you in your presence?
Probably.
Yeah, I thought so.
It's gonna be okay. You're doing fine.
I can't handle it. I think of the EBGBs.
Nice
All right,
job,
when we
kid.
come back, the temperature is going to drop fast when Sub-Zero tries to freeze out P1. That's next on BattleBots. How'd I do?
You did good. Nice job, champ. Yeah, thanks.
Welcome back to BattleBots. Up next, we got a battle between winless teams. That's P1 taking on Sub-Zero. Luke Bittenbinder is back with his new reverse flipper. P1 already took a loss in an unaired undercard fight earlier this season. And for Sub-Zero, they're also 0-1 on the year after getting ripped to shreds in their last fight. Jenny caught up with Jerry Clarkin and his team in the immediate aftermath of that battle. So let's take a closer look.
Thanks, guys. I checked in with Jerry and Team Sub-Zero after their brutal loss.
We got problems already for Sub-Zero.
To one of the season's most destructive bots.
Clean up aisle 6.
Cobalt.
Winner by knockout.
All right, Jerry, your fight didn't end the way you wanted.
No.
Take me through the damage and the challenges you faced in that fight.
There was a lot of extreme damage. Actually, this is grade 5 titanium armor.
Oh my God.
When he hit us, then he actually rolled us over and all that. His tooth came through underneath, and then it started hitting the frame, putting big gashes inside. That also damaged the ram assembly that was in here. The ram is what makes the weapon go up like this. These are the rams in here. But first he was taking out our drivetrain on the side. He grabbed onto the side and then he ripped wheels off. And you can see this had a tire wrapped around it at one point. Had. And now this is just the rim.
That is crazy.
You can see all the pile of damage down here on the floor.
This is everything we're dealing with.
Yeah.
Cobalt sending parts all over the battle box.
Jerry and his team dove into one of the most extensive rebuilds I've seen in the pits. And today, Sub-Zero looks like a completely new robot ahead of tonight's fight with P1. All right, Jerry, take me through where you are now.
I had to change the frame. This is our prototype frame.
So you're basically starting over.
Yes. Hey, the arm wasn't damaged.
I mean, that looks great. Is there anything you're still going to be working on?
We found out our next opponent was P1, so we actually went with a different front end.
Okay.
And we put a different back end on it to make us more maneuverable.
How are you feeling confidence-wise before your next fight?
Fairly confident. There's one thing that's missing. Our self-right mechanism.
Okay.
This is our prototype, which is 10 pounds heavier. And actually, we can't put the self-right in because of the weight. The arm will have to do it.
Wow, okay.
Which we don't want to do it because it actually wastes the nitrogen gas that we run. Every time you flip, you're down one hit. You're using your gas.
Okay.
And we don't want to do that. For P1, now he is a reverse flipper. He's a high speed with a wedge that actually will flip you forward. And he wants to slam you against the wall, against the screws. So that could get us upside down. That is our drawback. That's our Achilles heel in this match.
We'll find out if Jerry's missing self-rider becomes a factor when he looks for his first win of the season against the reverse flipper, P1.
Thanks, Jenny. So we know what to look for with Sub-Zero, Kenny, but let's talk about P1, led by Luke Bittenbinder. He's actually a student at Clemson University. He's been a longtime BattleBots fan ever since he was a little kid. So what's going on with this robot?
A fan of BattleBots, but also a fan of motorsports as well. That's why he's got the name P1. P1 stands for the pole position that you hope to have when you're in F1. And, you know, he's got a lot of cool little different things, like sparks that come out of the back of the bot, almost like an F1 car. These guys are amazing.
Very excited. Let's send it inside to Farouk.
In the red square, it came, it thawed, it launchered. Back from the deep freeze, its frostbite is strong like Hercules. It's not nice, and it'll flip you on your ice. Oh, hell no, it's Sub-Zero!
Sub-Zero knocked out by Cobalt in its opener. What's it hoping to do tonight?
Well, at 0-1, it's simple. They need to get that flipper working and put up a win to keep their tournament hopes alive.
In the blue square, nothing could be finer than a bot from Carolina. It will fool you with its southern charm and flip you until you bought the farm. It's a one-way ticket to Gnarlston. It's P1.
P1 under the bright lights here, making their on-air debut. 0-1 on the season, and they might be feeling like they're looking in the mirror.
Yeah, that's right. The height, the width, everything really is the same. They need to outflank Sub-Zero. They're also bringing in that mini-bot, Burnout.
The strategy is all driving. It's to get around him on his corner, back corner, and then start flipping him. That's what you do in a flipper. You don't go head on with the weapon. You try to get around the guy and get on the backside always. We're 0-1. We have to win this fight, period.
We know they have a pretty low front wedge, and we also know that the arena condition is not so great at this point, so we're hoping they'll get stuck, and that'll give us a chance to get in on their side. We've got a lot more speed than them, so we're going to drive circles around them and just wait for that perfect moment for an attack. It's P1 time.
That side.
The veterans, Sub-Zero, looking to put the newcomers on ice. That's coming your way right after this. Sub-Zero, P1, Flipper versus Flipper. Let's get this thing going.
Red team ready. Blue team ready.
Oh, I see you, Luke. I see you. Let the bot battle begin. Whoa, P1 already lost.
That's a real spoiler right there.
Okay.
That thing's gone.
That's going to be a problem. Oh! Nice little flip by Sub-Zero.
Sub-Zero wanted to flip. There's one. They're looking on a second.
And there's a second one.
Beautiful shot there by Sub-Zero.
P1 sure does look cool with those sparks flying out of the back, but so far no sign of that reverse flipper.
Swing and a miss there by Sub-Zero, so it's 2 for 3 on flips if you're keeping stats at home. And if you're doing that, then you need some serious help. And there's another flip. Oh!
Beautiful shot there again by Sub-Zero. That's 3.
Oh, yeah. He's trying to get him out of the box. Oh, he's got him on the rails.
Well, that reverse flipper works well as a self-righting mechanism, but can he be offensive with it? Oh, another huge flip. And P1 upside down again.
Sub-Zero hitting the flips that it wants. Hasn't been able to stop P1 yet, though.
Oh! Look at that move by Sub-Zero. And somebody has got to tell. Ladies and gentlemen, playing the role of a pancake tonight will be P1. P1 in your program. I mean, come on, let's go.
Uh-oh. And the mini-bot trying to get involved. He's got the flame going. Oh! That's going to be it. That is a field goal.
Unbelievable.
Counting it out from 10, 9, 8.
Oh, Sub-Zero goes for the mini-bot. That one is safe.
Wow. That last one was from Steph Curry distance. if you're building a flipper bot at home, this is how it should work.
Yeah, absolutely. And listen, you got to feel good for Jerry Clarkin and Team Sub-Zero. They've been struggling to try to get this bot working, and boy, did it work, Chris.
You know, Jerry told us, listen, you're not going to get the oohs and ahs of a Bronco with his flipper. He doesn't throw them 15, 20 feet in the air. But let's keep in mind, that is a 250-pound piece of metal that's getting thrown around that box.
Yeah, absolutely. And Sub-Zero still made it look easy. And this is very difficult. To get the timing right, to get underneath the bot repeatedly like this is very difficult to do.
Let's give P1 some credit. It tried its best. It got flipped over. It still worked. But, man, right at the end on the rim and in.
It's good. That wasn't enough. Let's finish the job. And you're out of here. All right, I'm here with Jerry Clarkin from Team Sub-Zero, man. That's how Sub-Zero is supposed to work, am I right?
That's how it's supposed to work, yes.
How excited are you that you got the bot to work, but you also have a big-time win here in BattleBots?
We spent we've been just building parts. After our first match, I lost 60% of the robot during our one fight and against Cobalt, and these guys just pumped it out, and we did it. So we're ready to go, keep on fighting.
You've been working so hard, you lost your voice.
Oh, I got a case of the bot flu, I'm sorry.
Is it contagious? Because I don't want to get too... All right. Well, man, that was unbelievable. Again, you got the flipper to work. How satisfied are you after that one?
Last season, we flipped a couple times, some minor stuff, but it actually never had the full power it had. And I'm so happy right now. It's just ecstatic.
And no bot was safe out there, by the way. Seems like you took out all your years of frustration out on those guys. It was amazing because of it, though.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. Way to go.
Guys, amazing fight. Congratulations.
Jerry Clarkin at Sub-Zero comes out and gets the knockout win over P1. Simply unbelievable.
And he gave me the bot flu.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Oh,
sorry about that. Okay, well, you might not be excited about this. I was excited about what I saw inside the box.
I'm telling you, that was very impressive from Jerry Clarkin and Team Sub-Zero. They got it working, and they're driving really, really well. But let's put this win into perspective here. P1 isn't exactly a top 16 robot at this point, so for Jerry's tournament hopes to stay alive, he needs to face some tougher competition and prove to the selection committee that he can continue his winning ways against upper-tier robots.
That's right, Kenny. Robots just like the two going head-to-head in our main event later tonight. Let's take a closer look. Whiplash! Oh, that's gonna do it!
Witch Doctor!
Oh, huge hit! Woo! Yeah!
You guys are undefeated right now. Congrats.
This, I would say, is the most critical fight of our season so far. Whiplash is the first opponent we're facing that was top 16 last year. So this is our first really big chance to prove that we can hold our own against a top bot.
We've never fought Witch Doctor before. They're obviously a very tough robot. I mean, they're a 2-0 team. We're a 2-0 team.
One of the more iconic teams in BattleBots history.
If we win this fight, that will give us a for sure spot in the top 16. That puts a lot of pressure on us to win this fight against Witch Doctor.
Matt Vasquez is a driving prodigy.
Matt Vasquez, he's been driving robots probably as soon as he could walk. So this is absolutely going to be a driving fight.
It looks like it's only the one motor that's tight. The other motor looks okay.
We've made a lot of tweaks to Witch Doctor, so it's driving the best it's ever driven before. So we're just going to have to outdrive him.
The ground clearance on Witch Doctor is pretty high all around the robot. So I think we could lift them from any point on their robot. The only issue is vertical spinners are probably, I would say, the most dangerous weapon type. Because when they hit you, they're not only damaging you, they're throwing you in the air and controlling you.
Oh, these hits are devastating!
So I'm gonna have to be very careful where I go and attack them.
Our strategy is going to be to hit his robot anywhere except his lifter. His robot does have some structural weaknesses that we're going to try to exploit. It has very exposed wheels, and that's something that we're going to have to come after.
Whiplash Whiplash!
I don't think Witch Doctor's ever fought anyone like us. Win or lose, this will be a very fun fight.
Even though Matt's an amazing driver, we're prepared to do as much damage as we possibly can to Whiplash.
I really want to go in there and just show that we could take down Witch Doctor.
He's not going to make this easy for us.
All right, we are back on BattleBots, and up next, it's Deep Six against Nelly the Bot. And few bot builders are enjoying themselves more than Dustin Eswine. He's a former Navy diver and the team captain of Deep Six. Remember, his bot almost jumped out of the test box and took a bite out of the floor earlier this season, but it was able to stay upright long enough to make absolute mincemeat of Axe backwards in its BattleBots debut.
That's right. Listen, this thing has a lot of power. It's intimidating. It is scary. And tonight, it's got its sights set on Nelly the Bot.
And what a great story for this team, led by Sarah Mallion of Great Britain. She's known on the European circuit for fighting smaller bots, but this is her very first time competing with the heavyweights. She actually had to raise money on a GoFundMe page in order to complete her robot. And although her first fight didn't go exactly her way,
I thought that went really well.
Sarah showed she's got no fear in throwing that bot up against any opponent.
You gotta love the passion. It is infectious every time you talk to her. Yeah, I mean, this is her dream to be here.
Well, now it's time to see if she can have her dream performance inside of the battle box.
Farouk, take it away.
In the red square, yo ho ho and a bottle of destruction. You can't fathom the pain of this bot, and it's coming after your booty. Dead bots tell no tales. Bot overboard. It's Deep Six.
And there you see Deep Six, 1-0 on the season so far. And how about that weapon? A 100-pound bar spinning up to 200 miles per hour. Wow.
In the blue square, I don't think you're ready for this Nelly. I don't think you're ready for this Nelly. I don't think you're ready for this, because her bot is so brutalicious. Nelly the Bot.
Well, this design doesn't strike the fear in me like their opponent, Kenny.
Not exactly, but Nelly's got a wedge, and Deep Six has had trouble staying upright. So if she can avoid the giant bar and get to the sides, it won't take much to knock Deep Six over.
The strategy against Deep Six, I think, is to keep away from its big spinner as much as possible. Their spinner actually weighs more than me. That thing hits us in certain places. It's going to be potentially terminal for us. We're relying on the fact that Deep Six is pretty unstable, so there's always the chance that it's going to fall over and knock itself out.
So the strategy for this fight is just going to be, we're going to keep the weapons spun up, keep the front pointing at them all times, hopefully rip off as much stuff as possible. They're a hammer robot, so that's a big issue for us. We have batteries right under a real thin sheet of Lexan, so we're definitely worried about that. But I'm hoping that they'll fire their hammer right on our bar when we're spinning. It could go either way, but if they make one mistake, they're going to be in some serious trouble.
Looks like Nelly the Bot's ready for a little joust, Kenny. You see they added the spear there.
Yeah, it's a smart addition. Anything she could do to poke at Deep Six and throw him off balance with that high center of gravity.
Hit it. Let the bot battle begin!
Oh, no! Nelly's stuck on the floor, Chris!
And here comes Deep Six.
Get out of the way!
Don't do it!
Stop.
Get out of the way, Nelly the Bot!
No,
what are you doing? Get out of the way!
There goes her right ear.
And the spear's gone too, Chris!
Yeah, but she's back to life at least. Let's see if she can give Deep Six a shove.
Oh! Lights are smashed inside the BattleBots.
All right, be careful. I hope nobody's barefoot in there right now.
Kenny, I think Nelly would be turning purple if she wasn't already.
Wow!
Well, look, Deep Six is smoking. We might have a simultaneous KO.
Is this a double knockout?
I think we have a simultaneous, John.
Do you have any self-riding mechanism?
Nope. Ready? Ready?
Is Nelly the Ellibot's eye okay?
Oh, it's a rare simultaneous knockout. Nelly the Ellibot and Deep Six have both been Deep Six.
Simultaneous knockout.
Wow.
Pretty good, huh?
That was pretty good, baby.
For the second fight in a row, Deep Six has ripped a robot in half, but it knocked itself out in the process. Now, most fights have one KO if we're lucky. This one has two, but we do need to declare a winner. So while the judges sort this one out, Nelly might want to close her one good eye for this replay. First, that 100-pound bar took off Nelly's right ear, then sent the left ear into the lights like a ball off of Roy Hobbs' bat, and the glass came pouring down on the BattleBots floor.
Yeah, but look at this, Chris. Boom! That shot rips Nelly's head in half, and the bar still has enough force to dig a 6-inch hole in the box floor.
Perhaps he was getting a jump on digging Nelly's grave. All right, again, each bout must have a winner. I think we know how this is going to go, but let's go to Farouk to make it official.
The results from the judges are in. The winner by unanimous decision is Deep Six.
All right, guys, that was a rare double knockout. That was just ridiculous, man. Talk us through that, Dustin.
Honestly, this is really a double knockout kind of robot. Every pound of force that it puts out, the frame itself has to take. Extremely unstable when you're spinning a 100-pound bar, 200 miles per hour.
That weapon, when it hits, it does some serious damage, man, even to the BattleBox.
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry about their floor.
And the lights.
And the lights, and whatever else got damaged.
And my robot.
Is your eye gonna be okay?
I think we're gonna have to make new eyes again. But I think this time it's gonna be paper plates and some cling film.
Sarah, did you at least have a fun time?
I had an amazing time. I mean, if that doesn't make a good hit award, I don't know what does.
It was an amazing hit. Dustin, did you have a blast out there?
Yeah, that was awesome. That's gonna be one of the highlights of my time here for sure.
Guys, well done. A double knockout. That was great.
If Sarah Malian is having that much fun watching her bot get destroyed each and every time out, I don't want to see her when she actually wins one of these things.
Absolutely, she is going to do some backflips for sure.
On the other side of things, big picture here, Deep Six and that supercharged bar spinner remain unbeaten.
Yeah, but don't forget, both of their victories have come against winless spots. So while they are 2-0, it's tough to call them a contender for the top 60. But again, that is a dangerous weapon for sure.
If nothing else, it was a ton of fun to watch.
All right, coming up, it's the fight we've all been waiting for. It's time for the main event. Whiplash taking on Witch Doctor. That's two undefeated teams looking to stake their case for the top 16. And as Jenny said at the top of the show, someone's O has got to go. So stick around for more BattleBots Fight Night.
Oh, that's not what Gigabyte wants to be.
Usually for fights, we'll try and measure opponents and see where things are that we want to hit. For a fight with Gigabyte, we needed to hit the top of the shell. The sides are sloped, so the top is very flat. The top's a lot thinner, it has holes in it, and we knew that only being able to hit on the sides of it, we would scratch it. We wouldn't go through it. So we used photos of their fight with Tombstone last year where the shell flew off.
Gigabyte has lost its dome!
And we also went over and measured the shell. The dotted circles are every single bar length we have. And then what you can do is just drag it towards Gigabyte until you see where each bar hits. So these bars hit on the side, which we don't want, but then you drag it in far enough, and you can find the bar we actually decided to use. It's a 34-inch bar, which hits the top before it comes down and hits the side. It totally works, and it took a million amazing cuts right out of the top of the shell.
All right, we are back on BattleBots in time now, Kenny, for our main event. This is such a good one. A pair of 2-0 teams, Witch Doctor, but let's start with Whiplash. No team has had a more impressive strength of schedule in terms of victory than that squad. You're talking about knockouts over Sonawaiachi and Minotaur, and the Vasquez family is feeling great about their bot.
Without a doubt, and they totally understand the fact that if they get this win over Witch Doctor, they will be seeded very high for the postseason tournament.
Yeah, but Witch Doctor said, hey, let's pump the brakes a little bit on the excitement.
Not so fast.
We have been pretty good, too, because in the offseason, we didn't totally recreate our bot. We spent time upgrading the thing, and they think that has really helped them so far in 2019.
That's right. It's not about making all of the changes. It's about making the right changes. Witch Doctor this year is bigger and badder than ever with that 50-pound vertical disc spinning up to 250 miles an hour, which significantly outguns Whiplash. But for Whiplash, they do have the speed advantage, and on paper, they have the reach advantage as well. Of course, it could be difficult for Whiplash to use that flipper without taking some mean shots from Witch Doctor's disc. So, for them, Matt Vasquez's nimble driving will be the key to their success.
Two teams, both 2-0. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. You ready for our main event?
Woohoo,
let's get it going. Farouk, take it away.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? It's time for our main event.
There they are, Jeff, Debbie, Matt, and Jason. Is that quartet having a great season or what? They're having so much fun.
Yeah, absolutely. They're having a great time. That bot is very dangerous. And of course, Matt Vasquez, one of the best drivers in the game. And these guys have never fought before.
Decision over Shatter, knocked out Captain Shredderator. They're confident. They've got the costumes working. The bot is healthy. They're in a good place.
Yeah, absolutely. They have a lot of confidence in their bot. And let's not forget, Mike Lately is a pretty mean driver himself, so he won't be intimidated by the skills of Matty Vasquez.
In the red square, when it hits you, you'll be saying, my neck, my back. Someone's mom just had a heart attack. It's gonna hit you hard, hit you good, hit you hard just like it should. It's Whiplash!
Kenny, with two drivers of this caliber, we usually see a highly technical battle.
That's right, and that is going to come into play here. Now, it's not unlike the actual fight game where you don't want to be directly in front of your opponent just trading shots. So no head-on shots for Whiplash. They want to get the angles where they can hit and not get hit.
In the blue square, if you're having bot problems, I feel bad for you, son. I've got 99 problems. Now this witch is one, which takes us to 100. It's Witch Doctor!
All right, Kenny, how does Witch Doctor plan on defending itself against Whiplash?
Well, they did not go with the wedge. They decided to go with the flat-faced armor on the front of Witch Doctor. That means they'll be able to lead with their weapon and hit Whiplash right in the face.
Robots activate.
It's a battle of undefeateds. One of these bots will move to 3-0, and they'll plant their flag firmly in the land of the top 16.
Red team ready.
Witch Doctor's weapon up to full speed. Same with Whiplash. There's already a few parts screwed around the battle box.
Oh, nice hit by Witch Doctor.
Well done.
Chris, that disc on Whiplash is already shut down after that last hit.
Nice pop again by Witch Doctor.
No panic, though, from Matt Vasquez without the disc. It's the lifter that they lean on to control their fights.
And look how quickly Witch Doctor can spin its weapon up, but Whiplash has got Witch Doctor against the rails. This is dangerous territory, but Mike Lately does a nice job getting him off the rails. Whiplash has one of its wheels chewed up a bit, but it's still moving. And look at that, the wedge of Whiplash has come clean off, Kenny.
Yeah, Witch Doctor finishing the job of that wedge, and now the tire's gone for Whiplash. Witch Doctor on fire right now.
Its left front wheel is out, and Whiplash is now caught in the screws. Oh, no. Will it get spit out? Remember, those screws will reverse. But I don't know. Whiplash looks like it's really wedged in there tight. Will it get out? It got out! Oh! Oh, and how about that? Witch Doctor throws it in the other screws and says, try that out. But Whiplash somehow gets out. This is unbelievable.
Witch Doctor with some very aggressive driving right now, giving Whiplash a taste of its own medicine.
This is the most amazing comeback we've seen since David Hasselhoff, as Whiplash somehow got out of not one set of screws, but two set. And now it looks like Witch Doctor's starting to smoke a little bit, Kenny.
Yeah, that's right, Chris. This is not a good sign for Witch Doctor. It may come down to durability here.
Kenny, with both discs shut down, this is where we usually see the driving skills of Matty Vasquez shine and take over the fights. I gotta say, though, Mike Lately standing his ground with Witch Doctor, countering every move, making this very tough on the Vasquez family.
Back and forth they go right now, and look at this, Whiplash starting to come back, trying to throw them out of the battle box.
Unbelievable. Witch Doctor with back-to-back flips of Whiplash into the screws. Can Whiplash return the favor with under 30 seconds to go?
Yeah, there's not much time right now, Chris. Witch Doctor trying to bully Whiplash into the corner there, keep him isolated.
Which of these heavyweights has one final push as we approach 10 seconds to go? Witch Doctor continues to smoke as the countdown is on.
Two undefeated bots battle to the final buzzer.
And why not? This classic will go to the judges.
What a fight.
The three judges, as always, scoring on a 7-point system. 3 for damage, 2 for aggression, 2 for control. What an incredible fight. There's a lot for our judges to take in here.
Kenny, what'd you see in the early going?
Oh my goodness, I saw some very aggressive driving from both parties here, but it was Witch Doctor that really stepped it up and caused some serious damage to the front wedge of Whiplash. And went for those tires early on, and that really limited Whiplash, and there they are getting stuck on the screws.
Kenny, we've seen other bots caught behind the screws like this. It usually means the fight is over. But look at this move from Whiplash. Using that lifter to push the bot up and off the screws, that is nothing short of incredible. One of the best escapes we've seen in the box, and then Witch Doctor nearly ended up out of the box.
Yeah, Whiplash started to crawl back, but again, that front left tire, or lack thereof, really limited them against Witch Doctor.
A very tough call. Can't wait to see which way the judges go.
For tonight's main event, the results from the judges are in. And the winner, by a unanimous decision, is... Witch Doctor!
All right, I'm here with the successful Team Witch Doctor. What a fight. Take us through that fight if you remember all of it.
It's definitely a blur. That's the most intense fight we've ever been a part of. We knew it was going to be crazy. We knew Whiplash would not stop working, so we had to give it everything we've got. That's the first match this whole tournament. I've actually been at 100% throttle. And, I mean, I'm still in disbelief. They're a top 4 robot last year, so this is a huge victory for us.
Well, you can tell that you guys dialed up your weapon because that thing does a lot of damage. You don't see Whiplash hurt like that too often.
Yeah, I'm really happy with how it's working. Obviously, there was some smoke at the end that we're going to have to figure out what happened, but I couldn't be happier about this match. It was crazy.
You guys just beat an amazing bot in Whiplash. Where do you think this ranks you now, Mike?
We're 3-0 at this point, so I don't know. We got to be ranked pretty high.
Against amazing competition as well, so unbelievable. How far can you guys go this year? How confident are you now?
We've never been undefeated at this point in the tournament. This is the best Witch Doctor we've ever built, so I can't wait to see where we go.
Congratulations, guys. Amazing fight.
Thanks.
Matt, that was a lot of fun.
That was an insane, incredible fight. Like, I expected no less from that match, one way or another.
Did you expect them to come out that aggressively, that early on?
I mean, I think in the beginning of the fight, we started driving towards them, but it's just the weapon has so much reach. Whenever we touch the front of the robot, they hit us. So I think they just had a little design advantage there. But yeah, I mean, they hit really hard.
How limited were you guys once they kind of chewed up that tire?
I don't think the tire being chewed up was all that big of a problem. It was more the wedges were all bent up, and it was harder to get underneath. And at some point, we broke the lifter chain, which once that happens, we have nothing. So I think that was really when they got the win.
Well, you guys were involved in one of the best fights I've ever seen. And again, you guys still doing pretty darn good here in BattleBots. How do you see your position now as far as ranking-wise compared to the other bots?
I think there's going to be a lot of 2-in-1 robots at this point. So I think our ranking will be pretty good. If we win our next fight, I think we'll be in. If we lose our next fight, I have no idea.
You guys are still doing great against excellent competition. Keep it up.
Yeah, thank you.
There was some serious energy inside of this building thanks to that classic fight.
Unbelievable fight between two powerful and experienced robot teams. Wow.
A couple of heavy hitters, no question. But in the end, it's Witch Doctor who gets the win. Jenny, what was the reaction back there in the pits?
Guys, this place went wild for Witch Doctor after they beat Whiplash and really established themselves at the top of the heap. Now, they're 3-0. They're as close as you can get to punching their ticket to the top 16.
I totally agree, Jenny. I think after that, I'd be crazy to say they're not a top 4 bot right now.
Really? They're that good?
I think so.
Big picture here tonight. Sonowayachi did what Sonowayachi does, and that's knock out an opponent in under a minute. We saw a couple of rookie bots move to 2-0 as well. So now both Uppercut and Deep Six will be looking to get a signature win in their next couple of fights. Listen, it's a stacked field this season, and that's what it's going to take to grab the attention of the selection committee. Either way, there's no doubt all these bots went out tonight and put on a spectacular show. But I thought the big story here was Sub-Zero and Jerry Clark. And he's worked tirelessly on that robot, and it finally worked the way he wanted.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a feel-good story for me. And speaking of a feel-good story, how about Jonathan Schultz and Huge? They bounce back, get their second win in a row, and move to 2-1. And now they're right back in the conversation for the top 16.
Okay, so that'll do it for us for now. For Jenny Taft, Farouk, my man Kenny Florian, I'm Chris Rose. We'll see you next time on BattleBots.